In the heart of Chicago, a bustling city filled with endless lights, moving trains, and people chasing their dreams, lived Emily Johnson, a 32-year-old marketing manager who was known for her sharp intelligence and warm personality. On the surface, Emily seemed to have everything: an exciting career, a comfortable home, and a husband, Daniel, who worked as an architect in the city. To their friends, they appeared to be the perfect couple, always smiling in photographs, hosting dinners, and going on weekend trips. Yet, beneath this perfect image lay a reality that many couples silently struggle with. This story is not about betrayal in a scandalous way, but rather a deep dive into the psychology of why some women end up cheating and how circumstances, emotions, and unspoken needs can lead them down that path. Emily had been married to Daniel for 6 years. Their relationship started strong, full of love, excitement, and adventure. They traveled across the United States together, hiked the mountains of Colorado, enjoyed Broadway shows in New York, and spent quiet evenings in San Francisco cafes. But over time, the thrill of the early days started to fade. Daniel became increasingly focused on his architectural projects, often coming home late, while Emily carried the weight of household responsibilities and long work hours. At first, Emily tried to dismiss her feelings of loneliness. She convinced herself that it was normal for couples to go through ups and downs, but the emotional gap between her and Daniel widened. She longed for deep conversations, laughter, and the kind of connection they once shared. Psychologists often explain that when emotional needs are not met in a relationship, people, both men and women, seek fulfillment elsewhere, sometimes unconsciously. For women like Emily, cheating doesn't always stem from physical desires but from a longing to feel valued, understood, and emotionally connected. One afternoon, during a work seminar in Chicago, Emily met Michael, a communications consultant visiting from Seattle. Michael was charming in a respectful way, attentive, and genuinely interested in what Emily had to say. They started with professional conversations, sharing insights on marketing strategies, but soon their talks became more personal. Michael asked her about her dreams, hobbies, and even her childhood stories. For the first time in years, Emily felt seen and heard. Emily didn't set out to betray her marriage. But human emotions are complicated. Every message exchanged, every coffee meeting, and every laugh they shared became moments where Emily felt alive again. For her, it wasn't about attraction, it was about connection. Daniel, meanwhile, had no idea about the storm brewing inside Emily's heart. He believed his hard work was a way of showing love, by providing a stable and comfortable life. But what he missed was that Emily didn't need only financial security. She needed time, affection, and presence. Experts in relationship psychology point out that women often cheat for reasons tied to emotional dissatisfaction, lack of appreciation, or the absence of intimacy in its broader sense. Not just physical, but emotional closeness. Unlike the stereotype that cheating is purely physical, many women describe it as a cry for attention, a search for companionship, or an attempt to feel valued. As weeks passed, Emily became conflicted. She knew what she was risking. She respected Daniel, loved many things about their marriage, but also felt trapped between responsibility and desire. Her internal struggle is one many women silently face. They ask themselves, am I wrong for wanting more? Am I selfish for craving emotional intimacy outside my marriage? One evening, Emily sat by the window of her Chicago apartment, staring at the city lights, thinking about the choices before her. She realized that her actions, if continued, would cause pain not only to Daniel but to herself as well. Cheating, after all, is not a solution. It's a symptom of deeper problems. She decided to have a conversation with Daniel. It was not easy. She explained how lonely she had felt, how much she missed the closeness they once shared, and how she had been emotionally tempted elsewhere. Daniel was shocked at first, hurt, but also willing to listen. It was a turning point. Instead of hiding or denying the truth, they both chose to confront it. Daniel agreed to attend couples counseling with Emily, and slowly, they began to rebuild their bond. They learned that love isn't only about passion or financial stability. It is about nurturing, listening, and showing up for each other every day. Through counseling, Emily discovered that her temptation to cheat was less about Michael and more about the emptiness she felt in her marriage. Daniel learned that his way of loving, through hard work and providing, was not enough without emotional presence. This story illustrates a psychological truth. Women often cheat not because they don't love their partners, but because they feel invisible, unheard, or emotionally disconnected. Cheating doesn't happen overnight. It grows in the silent spaces between two people when communication fades and attention drifts. Emily and Daniel's story doesn't end in tragedy. Instead, it serves as a reminder that relationships require constant care. Couples who talk openly, who share their vulnerabilities, and who prioritize emotional intimacy are less likely to fall into the traps of dissatisfaction. In the end, Emily chose her marriage. She realized that seeking attention outside was only a temporary fix for a deeper issue. What truly mattered was honesty, growth, and the willingness to rebuild. Daniel, too, understood that providing love means more than financial security. It means presence, affection, and empathy. The city of Chicago continued to move forward, with its endless traffic and glowing lights. But inside their apartment, Emily and Daniel started a new chapter. They weren't perfect, but they were honest, and in that honesty, they found a way to reconnect. And so, the psychology of cheating is not simply about betrayal. It's about unmet needs, human vulnerability, and the search for love in its truest form.